September. The S&P 500 fell 0.1%. The Dow Jones Industrial Average dropped 0.4%. The Nasdaq Composite edged up 0.1%. Stocks felt pressure from rising Treasury yields after the Fed voted to hold its main interest rate steady. The move may upset President Trump, who has been lobbying for lower interest rates, but it was widely expected. What may have surprised investors was Fed Chair Jerome Powell's pushing back on expectations for a September cut. The Dow was down 171 points to close at 44,461. The Nasdaq gained 31 to 21,129. The S&P 500 dropped 8 to 63.62. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm John Scott.
News and analysis at townhall.com.
On Point Weather is made possible by our friends at Palmetto Citizens Federal Credit Union on 107 The Point.
Here's tonight's forecast. Could have some shower activity up through midnight this evening. The low temperature dripping down to 76. Tomorrow, it's more of what we had today. A bit warmer. There's a 50% chance we get afternoon storms. The high is 94, and it's the same for Friday. Cooler for the weekend. High Saturday and Sunday, around 80 degrees. I'm Cal Moss with your On Point local weather.
WQXL Columbia, W264DF.
Grills, outdoor kitchens, fireplaces. Summer sizzle starts with Bart. This is 107 The Point. This is The Point. Make thepointradio.com.
This is Sports Talk with Phil Kornblut and Chris Bergen. Sports Talk is heard across the state on radio affiliates of the Sports Talk Media Network and is streaming live on SportsTalkSC.com, as well as Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. The South Carolina Education Lottery lucky number to call in is 888-898-2525. That's 888-898-2525. Now, here are Phil and Chris with tonight's edition of Sports Talk.
And it's a wide open Wednesday night here on Sports Talk. Best 2 hours every night for you, coming from Columbia, the Point Studios. Phil Kornblut and the plumber, Josh Cohen. And we're joined from the Berge Palace by Chris Bergen. So everybody is together tonight. And, of course, it's our last night. And I know some schools have opened up practice. Coastal today, Wofford today, Furman tomorrow. But it really kicks off with South Carolina and Clemson. And tomorrow we got both coaches talking one more time before they get at it. Clemson will have their first practice tomorrow. South Carolina will have their first practice on Friday. And then it's just a crazy about a month. Each one's got about a month to get ready for their opening game. And tonight it's time now to really take a deep dive into what the seasons are going to be like. South Carolina, Clemson, Coastal Carolina. What will be the high marks for them? What do you expect to be the best they can be? I know it'll be easy to say Clemson 12-0 because they're big favorites to win the ACC. The poll came out today, and they were overwhelmingly voted the favorite to win the ACC by the media members who voted at the ACC kickoff. And it will be hard. They'll be favored in every game this year, most likely, based on how things stand now. Things will change, of course, if they have some injuries or lose a game here or there. Lose that game to LSU to open the season. That could change the entire national perspective on Clemson. But win that game, and nobody is going to believe Clemson is going to lose a game the rest of the season. Meantime, South Carolina opening up against Virginia Tech, a game that they'll be favored to win. They'll have a few games here in the first month of the season where they should be the favorite. And if the Gamecocks can get off to a good start, they might be in a position to make a run at another 9-win or maybe even a 10-win season, if not more. What do you think the records are going to be? And then Coastal Carolina, Berge, I'll let you handle that. You were over there today to watch their first practice. You threw out the first ball at the first practice.
And then I immediately left because it was too hot to stay. I admire all the kids who get out and practice because Coastal got after it at about 9:15 this morning. It was hot. It was humid. It had been raining along the PD and Grand Strand, so the humidity was up. But, yeah, off to a good start. It looks sharp. Not nearly as sharp as I'm sure Coach Beck would have liked, but it's practice one of, 30-some-odd before they'll take on Virginia. Their biggest issue, I think, is going to be starting quarterback. unlike the other two teams where you've got cemented starting quarterbacks in Cade Klubnik at Clemson and Lenore Sellers at South Carolina, Coastal's not in that boat. They don't have that luxury because the only returnee that they have is Tad Hudson, transferred from North Carolina, and he played a grand total of one game last year, and it was the bowl game when half his teammates had defected to go elsewhere. So they've got some guys they feel pretty confident in, but we'll see. I think Coastal's wide receiving core, it may not be as talented as Clemson's, but it's going to be very, very good, and I think it can be one of the best in the Sun Belt. The question is, do they have the right person to get them the football so they can make plays?
Who went out with the first? What, did they have a first team? Did you get a look at who went out with the first team?
No, they really didn't have a first team. They didn't really do a whole lot of 11-on-11 type scrimmage stuff. The quarterbacks sort of got off on their own and did the throwing into the net drills. I'm not sure what football coaches call those things. I was more fascinated watching the cone drills with the wide receiving core. I thought that was really interesting. And one of the funniest things I saw today, Grayson McCall got yelled at by one of the other coaches.
For what?
I'm not sure Grayson got yelled at his entire playing career, but now he's an assistant coach working with the wide receivers. He had moved to another portion of the field, and they were still working another drill, and they needed him because he was throwing the football to the wide receivers. So I was like, Grayson, what are you doing? We need you right here.
That's funny. That's funny.
So welcome to coaching life, Grayson. It's a little different.
Did you see Grayson giving a lot of instruction, a lot of X's and O's to the quarterbacks?
He was a lot of cheering, a lot of encouragement type things. Yeah, he's going to be, I think, a real good asset for them. And it's interesting, they have put him into the wide receiving room. And Coach Beck has told the story. They felt like if Grayson is going to continue as a coach, they need to expose him to other avenues, and they felt like having a former quarterback in the wide receiving room would help them considerably because they'll be able to hear exactly what quarterbacks are seeing when they're running their routes. Excuse me. So they felt like that was a perfect place to start him as an assistant at Coastal. I think he'll turn into an excellent coach. I really do.
Yeah, certainly. He's got the background and the knowledge to do it. So Coastal's underway, Wofford's underway, Clemson gets underway tomorrow, South Carolina Friday, Furman gets underway tomorrow. Teams are reporting, and today they had the annual weigh-in at Clemson, where inside their locker room they make a big deal. They normally, historically, have issued the weights publicly, but they're not doing that this year. They're not publicizing the weights of their players as they step off that machine in the locker room this time around. So I'm sure there'll be some questions to Dabo Swinney about that tomorrow. Both Dabo Swinney and Shane Beamer are going to meet with the media one more time tomorrow in the afternoon before getting to work. Now, South Carolina opens up on Friday morning. South Carolina's going to have kind of a formal media day tomorrow, tomorrow with Shane Beamer and coaches and players. So we'll be covering that. We'll be covering the Clemson thing as well as Dabo Swinney has a regular press conference. So we got all that coming your way. Today we had a little basketball exposure.
Yeah. I thought that's all we were going to talk about tonight is Gamecock basketball.
Well, we'll talk a little bit about it.
What we've got. Yeah.
I tell you what, man, you better buy your programs because they got, 11 newcomers, 3 returnees, and still one spot to be filled. They've only got 14 of the 15 they can have, 11 newcomers. 10 of those were made available to the media today. The one who could not be made available is the big man transfer from Providence because he's not yet taking classes or officially enrolled in school. So until that's done, he could not participate in anything like that. But the other ones did and got a chance to eyeball them and talk to a few of them, including Meechie Johnson. We'll let you hear from Meechie Johnson tonight. But they got some good-looking athletes, I tell you. Watching Eli Ellis, we got a chance to see about 4 or 5 minutes of the end of their practice. They were doing a little half-court work. And one thing about Eli Ellis, he is not afraid to take it inside and get his shot off and control the basketball and dribble until he feels like he can get his shot off over bigger people. And almost everybody he's going to face will be bigger people. So, I mean, he's really, from the little bit that we saw, and I know you've seen the videos of him and you've read about him and all that kind of stuff, but seeing him in person, I wanted to see him in person. Didn't get a chance to see him take any kind of outside shot. Everything he did in the little segment we got a chance to see, everything he did was inside around the basket. and he made a couple of shots. I mean, he's really tough. He's acrobatic. He's really tough. I mean, he's playing below the rim, obviously, at his size. In that situation, he's playing below the rim against those big guys. But he's able to get his shot off in these particular circumstances. He was able to get his shot off and make a couple of buckets. So there will be a lot of when basketball season rolls around, there'll be a lot of attention on him to see if he is what his YouTube history says that he is. In the meantime,
the beauty of basketball, Phil, is it never changes in that regard. Guards still want to be big guys. Post players still want to be guards. Post players want to shoot the three, and guards want to drive inside and try and dunk on people. It never changes, no matter what the way the game is played. It still is that in that mindset. And I'm fascinated to watch Eli Ellis, and I'm really interested to see how they're going to utilize him in the backcourt. Does Michi turn into solely the distributor of the basketball? And if they're on the floor at the same time, is Eli Ellis going to be the two guard to try and score?
Well, yeah, Michi talked about being the point guard today. He realizes that's what they want him to be, and he says he's okay with it. He says he's fine distributing the basketball.
Interesting.
In fact, you'll hear him talk about that when we get to that a little bit later on. I talked to Elijah Strong, one of the transfers, and he sounds like a very mature guy and somebody who can. He's very confident in his offense. He really believes he's a big time offensive player. He knows he's got to improve on his defense to play defense the way Lamont Paris wants defense to be played. So interesting talking to him. I also talked to Hayden Simeon, a South Carolinian from up in Powdersville, who won a state championship as a junior at Powdersville, then went out of state and played in the played with Eli Ellis and his brother and another one of the Gamecocks freshman signees in that. I always get it confused. The overtime elite league with
That's
that
correct.
team, but also playing for that prep school, Moravian Prep in North Carolina. I always get confused the connection between the two. But anyway, that's who they played for, and South Carolina's got a little pipeline going with that program, and that's not a bad thing because obviously they produce some good players. What is interesting to me is, and I asked Michi Johnson this, you'll hear him talk about it. I mean, if you have Michi Johnson and Eli Ellis on the floor at the same time in the backcourt, you're going to have one of the shortest backcourts in the SEC. And you might be able to get away with that. You're knocking down threes, you're knocking down bombs, but I don't know. They're going to be facing. I mean, look, when they play Tennessee, they're going to be going up against athletic, smooth guards who are like
Length.
what 6'5", 6'6", and all
And
across
long.
the SEC, Auburn,
Oh, yeah, no
Tennessee, you name it, Mississippi State. They all have these long, big guards with long arms.
Well, Carolina 2 years ago when they made the run to the NCAA tournament, I think that was one of the strengths defensively was their ability to get out and pressure the basketball. So you're right, that's going to be a challenge. There's no question. And what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to actually screen and move and make sure that your big guys are coming out and helping out your shorter guards, that they can get some passing lanes to get them the basketball. So, yeah, I don't know how much Lamont's going to try and play those two guys at the same time. It'll be fascinating to watch. I'm really interesting to see how he's going to meld 11 new players, including Michi's return, into a roster. And, of course, they didn't have a very good year last year, so why not rotate the roster into a new one to see what happens. But, yeah, I think South Carolina basketball is going to be fascinating to watch against a really, really good league, as we all know.
Yeah, see what they can do. Also, wanted to mention that, talking about that, I mean, remember when they made the run to the tournament 2 years ago, they had Cooper, and Cooper was your point guard. And Cooper not only was your point guard, your distributor, but he was a big guard. He also set the tone defensively, and Michi played off of him. And, of course, he would get a lot of his outside shots that way. So what's your problem? What are you smirking about?
You're tapping the table. You're going,
well, I'm staying in rhythm that way. That's how I stay in rhythm.
Well, it just sounded like you're trying to get my attention. That's all.
No. I'm just tapping the table. Just staying in rhythm as I'm talking, keeping the brain flowing in rhythm.
Bergie,
okay?
can you hear him tap while he's talking?
I could not. That was the
so
first time I've noticed that.
Had you not even brought it up, nobody would have noticed. So
You see, I didn't bring it up. I just looked over because you were tapping.
Go back to reading whatever it was you're reading over there, okay? Leave me alone. Leave me alone when I'm on a roll. My goodness. All right, so we're going to hear from them. Your phone calls, 888-898-2525. That is the South Carolina Education Lottery lucky number. You can also send us a text message, and we'll respond to decent text messages, those that get our attention, that are well-written, well thought out, and make a point. And that number is 803-900-4847, 803-900-4847. But I do want to get into the best-case scenarios for both teams, all three teams, South Carolina, Clemson, Coastal Carolina, best-case scenarios. In Clemson case, we should really talk more about worst-case scenario, because it'll be very easy to sit here and go, well, Clemson, best-case scenario is 12-0, because that's a legitimate possibility with this team. Worst-case scenario with Clemson might be something along the lines of 10-2,
Before we move further with Clemson, though, if I may interject this, I wanted to go back to the point that you made. I've actually seen that written today as well, that Clemson will be favored in all 12 games. Do you, right now, as we sit, do you think they're a heavy favorite, a slight favorite, or is it a toss-up game in Columbia? I mean, keep in mind, this is a Gamecock team that beat them last year and returns the guy who basically beat them last year.
Yeah. Well, the home field hasn't mattered in this game since
Not
2018.
that series. Yeah.
So, I mean,
that's right.
Home, it doesn't really matter. You like to think that you've got the advantage playing at home, but, I mean, it really hasn't mattered here of late. So, I mean, if they were to line up today with what we know about both teams playing in Columbia, I would make Clemson maybe about a 4-point favorite. And I say that because why? I just think Clemson is a little more established, very established at quarterback, very established at wide receiver, very established on the offensive line. When they say Adam Randall will be very good at running back and will lead that group, okay, I'll take them at their word. So their offense looks very, very good. Mm-hmm. They have a proven kicking game, which South Carolina does not. South Carolina, their offensive line, really, we'll see what happens. A battle at left guard, whether it's Babalati or somebody else playing at left guard. At right guard, whether it's Trayvon Bowe or somebody else playing at that position. The two tackles are set. The center looks like it's set with Boaz, and he's been a starter in the Sun Belt, So I think that their offensive line could be very solid. Tight end looks good. Looks like Michael Smith's probably going to be the guy starting out there with Hunt behind him. Tight end looks good. Wide receivers, I think South Carolina's got 3 or 4 proven wide receivers going into this season. So that room looks good, plus an influx of some exciting young talent. I mean, the one big question mark is the running back position. Who's going to emerge as somebody or group? What group's going to emerge to be dependable at running the football? And then on defense, I mean, some guys who haven't played well where they were previously have got to play well at South Carolina, because that's what they're counting on. They're counting on some transfer guys, for the most part, who they took from other programs where they weren't contributing a whole lot. They're expecting them to come in and plug holes and contribute in a big way. We know the defensive ends should be just fine. I think the linebackers are going to be better than you expect, considering who they lost at linebacker. I think their replacements are going to be good. Maybe not as good as who they replaced, but respectable, more than respectable. I think their secondary is going to be excellent, and I think their kicking game is a big question mark, because we don't know exactly right now who the kickers are going to be.
I think that's a fair, drawn-out explanation, and I think Clayton White would probably take offense as to what you just said. I agree with you, but according to Coach White, they've got the guys in place. We just haven't seen them play. So, of course, that's what you expected the defensive coordinator to say about his team and his unit.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to criticize them, but I mean, you're talking about Monkel Goodwine, okay, who played a little bit for them last year. He's got to step up. Nick Barrett, has played a little bit. He hadn't played a lot of football at South Carolina. Gabriel Brownlow-Dendy hasn't played in college, despite his high marks coming out of high school. He's got to play. So, I mean, that's what I'm talking about. And we'll be back in a moment.
75 years, one reputation, too tough to tame. The Lady in Black doesn't care who you are. Rookie or vet? Playoffs favorite or long shot? 75 years of scraped walls, battle scars, and history made the hard way. This Labor Day weekend, be there to write the next chapter of the Cookout Southern 500. NASCAR Playoffs weekend at Darlington Raceway, August 30th and 31st. Get your tickets now at darlingtonraceway.com.
I'm attorney Jim Corbett. I'm not a case manager. I'm a lawyer for over 35 years. I don't charge 40% for your injury in your wreck case or any on-the-job injury. Call 803-765-2968 and ask for Jim Corbett or email me, jim@jimcorbettattorney.com, for the experience of a lawyer handling your injury case. Jim Corbett, 803-765-2968. Jim@jimcorbettattorney.com. Put 35 years of experience to work on your injury case.
You've put in the work for your education. The extra early, extra late, extra work. That's because you understand education opens doors to better pay, better opportunities, and a better you. Being educated about playing the lottery is no different. It helps you be a better player, one who knows when to play and when to take a rain check. The lottery's a game, so let's keep it fun. Learn more at sceducationlottery.com/betteryou.
He's got a mic in his hand, a voice so smooth. Phil Kornblatt's the name, they call him Corn and Coot. Sports talk king, yeah, he rules the air. But neutrality, man, it's just not there. He says he's balanced, calls it down the line. But those Gamecock colors, they always shine. Corn good, oh Corn good. Says he's neutral, but we see the truth. Corn good, oh Corn good. Loves the Cox, it's his favorite suit.
Go Cox.
Clemson fans call in, they take their shot. Phil nods along, but his heart does not. He tries to play it cool, to toe the field, but his Gamecock pride just won't stay sealed. He's got stats and facts, he's got the flow, but that rooster crow gives him away, you know. Corn good, oh Corn good.
All right. Enough of that. Enough of that lying. Pinocchio over here producing these things for Sports Talk, for the Sports Talk Orchestra.
I fear we're going to wear those out before football season actually gets here.
Yeah, we should put a limit. We need to put a limit on
It's
them.
one a night. It's one a night.
Well, that means they're going to be repeated during the week.
Well, no, we have Bald Truth.
Mm-hmm.
We have Chris's
Well,
song.
see, that's not correct either. None of these things are accurate. If you could just
Is Chris's song correct?
If you would get them Chris's
my song
is
is
correct.
100% correct.
Yeah, you can.
I
got
just
no
need
problem
one.
with
And
my song.
If once I get one, then we'd all have one for the week. Phil would have
Now
three.
we
about
need one for the plumber.
If the plumber gets one, I'm leaving.
Okay.
I'm done. I'm out of here. All right, a few quick notes. At our phone number, 888-898-2525. You want to join us? Pete Yannity with an update on the Daniel situation, and head football coach Chris Stone has been placed on paid administrative leave while the program is being evaluated, according to a school district spokesperson. The Lions program has been the subject of a district investigation following a reported incident earlier this month that was at Presbyterian College at a football camp there. So head coach been put on paid administrative leave. So apparently indication there that they feel like this is pretty serious stuff, Bergie.
Yeah, I would hope so. I mean, you don't have the head football coach who is in charge of the program, and I get why the Pickens County School District has gone that route. But, yeah, they must have some solid information behind the scenes that this was not a pretty sight at PC. I still can't get over the fact it was not a PC football camp. It was a Fellowship of Christian Athletes football camp.
That's right. But, I mean, you know, this is a Daniel thing and a Daniel thing only.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
The camp, PC's not involved here. Fellowship of Christian Athletes, they're not involved here either. This is strictly something within the Daniel football team, the people who were at that camp where it got out of hand and is causing this issue. South Carolina today announced the hiring of Wesley Millett as Deputy Athletics Director, Chief Marketing Officer for Gamecock Athletics. Jeremiah Donati made that announcement today. He comes to South Carolina from the University of California, Riverside, where he was most recently the school's athletics director. He's been at UC Riverside since 2018, and so he's coming to South Carolina from one coast to the other coast, and no doubt bringing a bunch of ideas and a way to thrive and survive during this new era of college athletics.
Is he filling the role that Chance Miller vacated when he became the AD at Coastal?
Quite possibly.
Did they hire somebody in the interim?
Quite possibly. Quite possibly he is. Quite possibly. Mm-hmm. Yep. Baseball this afternoon. How about those Atlanta Braves? They lose. They
lost more than just a game.
Well, they lose in 10. They fall to the Royals 1-0. Kansas City ties a record by using 9 pitchers in this shutout. Salvador Perez drove in the run, a single, leading off the 10th inning. Royals beat the Braves, and the Braves might as well just go, well, tomorrow's the deadline. You might as well just start selling. You're not going anywhere. You're backpedaling, and you want to go ahead and update the injury situation?
Yeah, Ronald Acuna now on the 10-day injured list. You got a grade 1, I think calf strain is what they called it, right Achilles tendon. Inflammation was what it was reported earlier, but I think the update is he's got a grade 1 right calf strain, whatever the heck that means. But obviously not good to have one of your best players who was already trying to battle back from injuries earlier in the season back on the shelf again.
So another series loss for your Atlanta Braves. And we're back after the bottom of the hour break.
On Point Weather is made possible by our friends at Palmetto Citizens Federal Credit Union on 107 The Point.
Here's tonight's forecast. Could have some shower activity up through midnight this evening. The low temperature dripping down to 76. Tomorrow, it's more of what we had today. A bit warmer. There's a 50% chance we get afternoon storms. The high is 94, and it's the same for Friday. Cooler for the weekend. High Saturday and Sunday around 80 degrees. I'm Cal Moss with your On Point local weather.
Hey y'all, it's Ted from Flight Deck Restaurant. We're introducing Friday Night Prime Rib Special. Our great chefs at Flight Deck Restaurant have created a great prime rib dinner special, which includes a 10-ounce slow-roasted certified Angus beef prime rib dinner, served with 2 sides of your choice for only $22.95. And if you mention we love Flight Deck, you get a free cookie or a soft drink with your meal. So come see us at Flight Deck Restaurant to enjoy a delicious slow-roasted prime rib dinner. While you're here, check out the new and improved arcade with over 33 games. We at Flight Deck Restaurant thank you, and God bless.
Coast. With SRN News, I'm Keith Peters in Washington. President Trump says the United States and India are still negotiating on trade despite new tariffs slated to begin in a few days. Trump told reporters Wednesday he'll see what happens. India's government says it's studying the implications of Trump's announcement he'll impose a 25% tariffs on goods from India, plus an additional import tax because of its purchasing of Russian oil. Trump intends to charge an additional penalty starting Friday. Tsunami advisories in some areas of the U.S. are being canceled as concerns about devastating damage faded in Japan and along the U.S. Pacific coast. But new alerts in South America have forced evacuations and closed beaches. On Wall Street, the Dow down by 171 points. More details at srnnews.com.
I don't know too many folks out there who love paying taxes, but what about getting tax credits? That's appealing, right? My buddy Ken at Broker Solar is in the tax credit business. How would you like a solar battery that helps do 2 things? First, it serves as an instant generator the moment the power cuts out, and it doesn't even require gasoline. Secondly, it lets you take some control back from the power companies. Yeah, you can use solar power during the peak hours when your power company wants to charge you the most. Oh, and that tax credit on solar batteries, you can get a 30% tax credit right now. This is a phenomenal time to reach out to Ken. He'll come out to your home or your business. He'll give you a comprehensive free estimate, answer any questions. Solar isn't free, but you need to take advantage of those credits when they do come around. Call Ken right now. Save on a solar-powered battery. Online, find him at brokersolar.com or just call Ken, 807-7417. That's 807-7417, Broker Solar.
If you've never had genuine Wagyu or Hereford steaks and burgers, you don't know what you're missing. Time to order the best of the best from HandJCattle.com. These are local farmers in Saluda where tradition meets quality. The best quality beef and a discount for Point listeners. Enter keyword The Point as one word and get 10% off, plus free delivery in Lexington and Richland County orders of $50 or more. It's cooked in season over at HandJCattle.com.
Maybe your credit's seen better days, or maybe it's just never been quite where you want it to be. At Founders Federal Credit Union, we get it. Life happens. Things don't always go according to plan. But that doesn't mean your goals are out of reach. Whether it's a car to get to work or a little extra breathing room in your budget, we offer personal and auto loans to help you move forward. With flexible terms and a team that treats you like a person, not a number. We take the time to understand because you don't need a perfect credit score to start your next chapter. Visit a local Founders office or foundersfcu.com to learn more. Founders, helping you do life on your terms, helping you build a brighter financial future. All it takes is one visit to foundersfcu.com to get you started. Relax, you've got this with Founders. Membership qualification required. Terms and conditions apply.
Escape the hustle and bustle of everyday life with Spa MD, your sanctuary of rejuvenation. Feel the tension melt away as our expert team guides you through your customized wellness journey. From soothing massages to revitalizing treatments, we promise a remarkable experience that leaves you feeling renewed and empowered. Discover the calm within every visit. Reach out at 251-9400 or online at visitspamd.com to explore your options. Your oasis of tranquility awaits.
She says we gotta hold on to what we've got. It doesn't make a difference if we make it or not. We got each other, and that's a lot for love. We'll give it a shot. Oh, we're halfway there. Oh, give me one prayer. Take my hand. We'll make it.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Sports Talk Media Network on a Wednesday night. It's a wide open Wednesday. Good chance for you to give us a call and share your thoughts about the upcoming season. What concerns you the most about your favorite team? South Carolina, Clemson, Coastal Carolina. Maybe you're a Furman fan, Citadel, South Carolina State. Others looking forward to traveling the state and talking to coaches and players here in the weeks to come leading up to the kickoff of the season. Our phone number, 888-898-2525. That is the South Carolina Education Lottery Lucky number. You can also send us a text message. Phone number there, 803-900-4847 to reach us there. The poll question of the week, chance for you to vote on that if you haven't done so. Poll question of the week looks like this, provided to you by Larry Lucas Insurance. Call Larry at 803-799-1998 for all your insurance needs. How do you expect South Carolina's defense this season to compare to last season's defense, which was a very good defense last year? Nobody's going to argue with that. Defense that produced a number of NFL draft picks and signees. So of the votes in so far, 52.4% believe the Gamecock defense will not be as good. 47.6% about the same. Nobody believes the defense will be improved over last season. So that's not a real good attitude to have. Even though you lost good players, you got to think the players you're replacing them with, the ones you're bringing in, the ones you've recruited, the ones you've signed out of the transfer portal, John, are going to be good players and give you a chance to be as good, if not better. That's going to be the big question mark, Berge, going into that opener against Virginia Tech. They're going to face a good quarterback. You can go ahead and mark it down. They're going to face a good quarterback who's athletic, who, like Lenore Sellers, can tuck it and run. So if they're not playing good defense, they could have some issues dealing with that Virginia Tech offense and that quarterback in particular.
I would agree, and the one thing that will be interesting to follow throughout the season, and especially early, is how stingy they are going to be against the run. Last year they were extremely good against the ground, top 15 nationally, if memory serves, in run defense. they still need to be that way because you've got to be able to stop the run, especially in the SEC play, or you're going to have a long afternoon. So I'd be fascinated to see if they're as good up front, especially with the front seven slowing down the run the way they were last year.
Mm-hmm. All right, pass on a few other notes. The Braves today, prior to their loss to Kansas City, they recalled outfielder Jared Kelenic, and they placed, as you mentioned, Acuna on the 10-day injured list, right Achilles tendon inflammation. We have other finals from Major League Baseball today. Pittsburgh all of a sudden piling up some wins. Beat San Francisco in 10, 2-1. Top of the ninth, now it's just gone final. Padres shut out the Mets 5-0. Blue Jays beat Baltimore, another high-scoring game, 9-8. They had some runs scored in that series. Detroit, a 7-2 winner over Arizona. The Cubs beat Milwaukee. Big win for Chicago there in that race. 10-3, Cubs win in Milwaukee. Houston beats Washington 9-1. And we've got one other score to tell you about, a game ongoing. And Philadelphia and the White Sox, top of the fourth, they're tied at 1. Meantime, we've got American Legion state playoff action continuing tonight at Founders Park in Columbia. We're down to the last 4 teams in the state tournament for the seniors, and Florence Post 1 playing Inman Post 45, and looks like, is this final? Yes, Florence Post 1 has defeated Inman Post 45 3-2. So Florence Post 1 wins over Inman Post 45 by a score of 3-2. And coming up tonight, you've got Richland Post 215 against Camden Post 17. All right, so where does this leave us? Where does this leave us? Do you remember the explanation from last night?
I actually do.
All right.
Yeah, if Richland wins that game, then Richland and Florence Post 1 will be the 2 representatives into the
Southeastern
Regional tournament.
Yeah.
Yep. If Camden were to win, I think they've got to play another one. And if Camden were to defeat Florence Post 1, then I guess both of those teams would go because the runner-up and the state champion both go this year to the regional. So Florence is basically, I think, in.
Well, Richland Post 215 is in the regional.
Correct.
Based on what you said last night, no matter what happens.
Correct.
Right. Okay.
No, so if it's Camden and Florence, the winner of that game would be the other representative.
Yes.
If it's Richland and Florence, then they're both going regardless of what happens in that game.
Yeah. And the championship will be tomorrow. All this at Founders Park in Columbia. We'll keep an eye on the game as it progresses. Left-handed pitcher Nick Frusco, a Clemson signee who was drafted, he did not sign with the Pirates. Thus, he's a 20th round pick. Thus, he will be heading to Clemson. So that's a nice pickup for their pitching staff looking ahead to next season, having a guy that was drafted, though it was in the 20th round. Nice to have a guy like that coming on board. Kerry Rich, the captain over at USC basketball, he messaged us yesterday and put this out on his Twitter that Derek Carroll, you might recall if you followed high school basketball, back about, 30 years ago, 20, 30 years ago. Derek Carroll is one of the best players in the country, 6'6", out of Eau Claire, went to Florida State, and he has passed away, is all that Kerry put out, that he had passed away. Don't have an age, don't have any other details, so sorry to hear that news. Derek Carroll was a heck of a high school player. As I recall, didn't really make the impact in college that you thought he might, but was a heck of a high school player. Part of that Eau Claire run of outstanding players that they produced under George Glimpf.
Great player of the year when he was, I guess, a senior at Eau Claire, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah,
great player.
Tremendous player. Yeah.
Also an update from on Jim Toman from his daughter. It came out came out earlier this week, and she says that Jim Toman's officially finished his first round of chemotherapy and radiation treatments. All 6 of his siblings came from all over to see him ring the bell at the Cancer Center. They now have a break for a couple of weeks before they return for more progress scans and potentially participate in a clinical trial at Duke at the end of the month. They want to thank everyone who's reached out or visited or supported the family in the past few months. They want everybody to continue to stand by Storm. That's his nickname, Storm Toman. So I guess for now, that kind of news is uplifting and positive. As for those who don't know, Jim Toman, former South Carolina assistant baseball coach, played at NC State, assisted at NC State, head coach at Liberty, head coach at Middle Tennessee State, assistant coach at the College of Charleston, dealing with brain cancer. And they've called it terminal brain cancer. But I talked to Coach Toman a couple of weeks ago, and he sounded great. And what he kept repeating was he didn't feel sick. He said, for a guy with terminal cancer, as he put it, I don't feel sick. He said, that's the strangest thing. I don't feel like I've got something. So keep fighting. He keeps fighting, and they keep doing what they can to treat him. And, hopefully there'll be a miracle message at the end of all this one day. Wouldn't that be something?
That would be awesome. And if anybody's stubborn enough to beat cancer, it's Jim Toman.
Yeah, absolutely. He is just stubborn enough to say, stick it in your eye. I'm not ready. Not ready for this.
We're all rooting for that for sure.
Absolutely. Okay, I've got I wasn't happy with the winner last night. I wasn't happy with the trivia question we gave out last night because it was won on the very first answer. That's a very weak trivia question. Sorry, Bergie.
Yeah, you didn't like Bergie's trivia question.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, it was Bergie's
Appreciate
trivia.
That. Then you can do your own trivia
question.
question.
I've got my own trivia question.
To Bergie.
That was a very weak trivia question. I guarantee you this one will not be answered correctly on the first answer.
You should have filtered out his questions so that did not happen.
And by the way, Andy is ineligible. 26-hour rule. You can't win more than once in 26 hours. So that precludes him from winning this time. What we're giving away, so I had two of these. I felt guilty as well about keeping this one for myself. As being very selfish of me. So I looked in the mirror this morning and I said, don't be so selfish. So we're giving away
good for you
this official yearbook for the Hall of Fame, the induction ceremonies. The Hall of Fame game, is tomorrow night. We've got our first NFL game tomorrow night. Can you tell me who's playing in it?
We have our first NFL scrimmage.
Yeah.
We don't have our first NFL game. I don't care what the owners tell you. Preseason football is not a game.
Well, who is playing in it? Do you know?
I have no idea.
I can tell you one team.
Who, the Lions?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, maybe
so the Lions are playing
Chargers. Lions and Chargers, I believe.
Lions and Chargers?
Yeah.
Okay.
See, that would be a really good regular season game this year.
I can check. I think it's Lions and Chargers, though.
Yeah. This is a very good magazine. Very good, they call it a yearbook, the official yearbook of the Hall of Fame. So you'll want this if you're a football fan. You don't have to be a South Carolina fan or a Sterling Sharp fan. But if you are a South Carolina fan or a Sterling Sharp fan, it's going to mean that much more to you. Eric Allen, Jared Allen, Antonio Gates, and Sterling Sharp all going into the Hall of Fame. So here is the trivia question created by the Corn. If I create a trivia question, it's not going to be easy. So we all know how great a player Sterling Sharp was for the greatest team in the history of the NFL, the Green Bay Packers. He was great, and it was too bad that his career was cut short by a neck injury. Now, he was injured in his next to last game. I thought it was his last game, but I had to go back and double check. He was injured in his next to last game. He was injured, ironically enough. Is this not ironic? Sterling Sharp, one of the greatest Gamecocks of all time, was injured on a hit by another one of the greatest Gamecocks of all time, Brad Edwards. Edwards playing for the Falcons, Sterling playing for the Packers, and at the line of scrimmage, Edwards hits Sterling Sharp around the neck. He goes down, Sharp does, and he's out for the rest of the game with a neck injury. He comes back and plays the next week against Tampa Bay, and he caught 3 touchdown passes in that game. And that was it. He could not continue. What he injured in that Falcons game was so great, so dangerous and so great in the neck area that he had to retire before the Packers went to the playoffs that year at the age of 29. And, of course, he had tremendous numbers, receptions, yardage, etc. But there's one incredible stat about Sterling Sharp that won't surprise you if you know what it is. What is that stat about Sterling Sharp that stands out? That stands out in his career that very few, if many others, have ever accomplished. I think others have, but not very many. And so I need to know what that stat was for Sterling Sharp. Beyond, it's not how many catches, it's not how many yards, it's not how many touchdowns. No. This is another extremely impressive stat. And if you know the answer, I'll be happy to send off the yearbook to you. Phone number 888-898-2525. South Carolina Education Lottery lucky number for you to reach us here on Sports Talk. We're taking phone calls tonight. We're going to hear from Meechie Johnson. Otherwise, we're open for your phone calls, your thoughts on the upcoming seasons around the state of South Carolina. I'm going to come back and tell you what I think South Carolina and Clemson will do this coming season. I'm not sure about Coastal. I'm going to let you handle Coastal and what you think their record might look like. 888-898-2525. We're back in just a moment.
75 years, one reputation, too tough to tame. The Lady in Black doesn't care who you are, rookie or vet, playoffs favorite or long shot. 75 years of scraped walls, battle scars, and history made the hard way. This Labor Day weekend, be there to write the next chapter of the Cookout Southern 500. NASCAR Playoffs Weekend at Darlington Raceway, August 30th and 31st. Get your tickets now at darlingtonraceway.com.
The lottery is not about getting rich. It's about helping people, and it always has been. The lottery is what helped raise the Great Wall of China, build the roads of Rome, and today in South Carolina, it's what generates millions of dollars each year for scholarships like the SC Hope, Life, and Palmetto Fellows. The South Carolina Education Lottery is investing in you. Visit sceducationlottery.com/betteryou to learn more.
Hi, Phil Kornblut here with our good friend George Bryan III, heard every Friday night on Birdies, Bogeys, and Biceps right here on Sports Talk. George, the Tsunami Bar, a very valuable tool for golfers. Why is that?
Well, the first thing that I say is the tempo. It's the only tool out there that allows the study of tension right from the first grab to be expressed, and rhythm and tempo is what makes the bar work, and it gives you something awfully special to keep those hands soft and get that rhythm going.
Learn more about Tsunami Bar technology by clicking on the digital ad on our website, SportsTalkSC.com, and save 5% by purchasing online using the promo code BBB5.
And I didn't stop there, I swear. From the time I wake up to the time I lay down, it's the devil's playground everywhere that I look. Swear it's there in my blood, I was born to be lost. Lot of lines that I crossed, little more than I should. I'm losing me too. Pretty eyes and the proof. He knew what I'd bout, he knew what would tempt me. He threw out the app.
All right, we're back in Sports Talk here on the Sports Talk Media Network. 888-898-2525 and our text line number 803-900-4847. And we got a trivia question out there. What is the one really incredible stat that Sterling Sharp achieved during his years with the Green Bay Packers in the NFL? Maybe one of the major reasons why he is going into the Pro Football Hall of Fame this weekend. There's a lot of reasons, of course, to select him. Okay, well, keep it to yourself if you think you know.
I'm going to type it in the chat.
Mm-hmm. All right.
So communication, incognito.
Is this an answer to the question, perhaps? Or do we know? Let's go to Lee over in, I think it's, is it Wingate, North Carolina, where Lee calls us. Lee, welcome in from North Carolina tonight. How you doing?
Hey, Phil, love your show. Love you guys. I tell you what, you guys are terrific. And I think I know the answer. I think he was the first NFL player to have successive 100 receptions one year after the other.
Mm-hmm. No, that's not the answer.
Oh, you shook your head.
No, I gave you thumbs down.
Oh. You get double
See, that may be why
wrongs,
the producer needs to know the answer.
Yeah, exactly.
He'd spill the beans.
I know. I begged Phil before. I said, give me the answer so I can know, because that's what he usually does. And this time he didn't. He says, no, you'll figure it out. And now I give him the wrong one.
Sorry, Lee. Not correct.
Okay, Phil. Love your show.
Thank you, buddy.
Bye.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it very much. See, when I do a trivia question, it takes deep knowledge to come up with one of my answers. Okay, this isn't your mama's trivia question like we had last night. Okay,
I got it right though, correct?
Well,
I got it right.
No, not totally. Not totally. There's a word. There's two words in there that would really, I'd have to take it to the judges to see if it's correct. You put two words in there, yeah, because you kind of overdid it.
So at this point, I would just go out, find this yearbook online. If you're listening, I just find this yearbook
Not in
online
the
and
yearbook.
buy it
In order
yourself.
yourself. Not in the yearbook.
I just buy this yourself. Yeah.
This took hours and hours of research.
It has a barcode on it, so I assume it can be bought.
Hours and hours of research. Phone number 888-898-2525 is our phone number. And let's see, got some text messages to address here. One from last night, I think, from the 864. I think Inman Post 45 head coach Steve Skinner is the longest-serving active American Legion head coach in South Carolina, 45-plus years and still going strong.
Wow.
How about that? Also from the
Chris
same.
talked very highly of him last night on the show.
Yeah. Also from the same, this is from Justin. Can't wait until high school football jamborees and scrimmages crank up next week. Thank you, Justin. We're right there with you. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to seeing who's going to emerge as some quality teams across the state. Let's see. Oh, I just deleted one I didn't mean to delete. Oh, can I bring it back? I accidentally deleted a message. Hey, Plumber, is there a way to recapture a message I just deleted here by accident?
There's not.
Oh, that's too bad. It was Bobby in Georgetown. Bobby in Georgetown, if you are listening, still listening, resend your message. I deleted it by mistake somehow.
If you're listening to the YouTube or Facebook or something, and they're posting a lot of comments in there asking, guessing in the comments. So not telling you to go over there or anything, but I think one of the answers is over there. I think the answer's over there.
See, you don't even know what the answer is.
But if I had to guess, I think
you're
it would
not
make
guessing.
sense.
All right, just stay quiet.
Okay.
You know what? You talk too much as a producer. I don't have to start limiting your airtime. You're getting on my nerves with all your yapping. Let's go to where are we going next? We're going to go next to Keith in Georgia. Hello, Keith. Welcome into Sports Talk. How are you?
Doing fine. How are you doing?
Terrific.
Was the Triple Crown winner in 1992?
That is a very good answer, but that is not what we're looking for. That's a good. I mean, he was,
but that is correct.
Yeah. That is a correct answer, but that is not the premier trivia question that we are asking tonight. That's too easy. Anybody can look that up on Google. Not that you did. I'm not. You might. You might have learned that on your own. You might have learned that on your own. But that's not it. But good try.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right. Let's keep it rolling. Phone number 888-898-2525 is our phone number. Waiting for the plumber to give us the next caller. Give us the next caller here, plumber. Got to move a little faster, son. Got to move a little faster.
Okay, Russell and Anderson, okay? You told me not to talk. Phil.
Russell and Anderson, welcome in. How are you?
Hey, Phil.
Hey.
Oh, doing great tonight, Phil. Long-time listener, never called the show before, but
well, it's good to have
I'm going to take a wild guess and say he created the Lambeau Leap?
You know, that isn't correct. But
Oh man,
I believe I got to double check this. The Lambeau Leap.
I think it may have been
Robert
Brooks.
Brooks?
Robert Brooks is
Yeah.
what I was thinking. Though I've also heard Leroy Butler. I got to go check and see whether it was Robert Brooks or Leroy Butler who created the leap. But
Okay.
that's a good try. But nope, that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for and thank you for your phone call. We're looking
Yes,
for
sir.
the answer to the trivia question. This is I'm not saying this is any kind of a record. I'm just saying in the world of professional football, this is what he did here was very, very unique, not done by many, if any, others in his career with the Green Bay Packers. That was cut short by that injury to the neck area. All right, let's continue.
And since you said not to go on Google, I didn't listen to you and went anyway. And you're right. Butler was the first one to perform the Lambeau Leap.
Mm-hmm.
Something I did not know, though, Butler did that in 1993, by the way. Brooks actually wrote a song about it.
Did he?
Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, let's see if we can find that. Let's go to Bruce in Missouri. Next up on Sports Talk. Hello, Bruce.
Hey. Anyway, I was trying to tune into the Gamecock Larry. He would know the answer. I can't get him.
Oh.
So I don't know the answer.
I mean, why you want to go there, man? Why you want to go there? All right. Thank you very much. I bet you Gamecock Larry would probably have known this answer. Maybe he would. You got to have some deep knowledge of Sterling Sharp and his professional career. All right, for those of you on the lines, hang on, and we'll come back to you after the break. We'll keep this rolling until we get an answer. We got nothing else to do. We'll do this.
WQXL Columbia, W264DF.
Grills, outdoor kitchens, fireplaces. Summer sizzle starts with Bart. This is 107 The Point.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm Keith Peters in Washington. Reaction is sitting in on the Federal Reserve, leaving its short-term interest rate unchanged. Gus Fauché, the chief economist for PNC Financial Services Group, says although the Fed decided against cutting its key interest rate, there were signs of splits in its ranks.
We did see two members of the Board of Governors dissent and call for a rate cut. President Trump has been very aggressively arguing that the Fed needs to cut rates, and we did see two participants vote for rate cuts, and so that does suggest that the president's pressure campaign is having an impact.
Fed Chair Jerome Powell also signaled that it could take months for the Fed to determine whether Trump's sweeping tariffs will push up inflation temporarily or lead to a more persistent bout of higher prices. His comments suggest that a rate cut in September, which have been expected by some economists and investors, is now less likely. Israel's prime minister is criticizing yesterday's announcement by Britain's leader to give recognition to a Palestinian state unless a ceasefire is reached in Gaza. BBC correspondent Paul Adams reports.
The government will have expected plenty of pushback at home and abroad, and so it has proved. Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said Sir Keir Starmer had rewarded Hamas's monstrous terrorism and punished its victims. This despite the fact that Sir Keir has explicitly called on Hamas to release hostages, disarm and abandon any thought of playing a role in the future government of Gaza. Sir Keir's promise to recognise a Palestinian state may be heavily conditional, but he knows that the chances of Benjamin Netanyahu committing in the next 6 weeks to a peace process that delivers a two-state solution are vanishingly small.
On Wall Street, the Dow down by 171 points. More at Town Hall.
If you're living with pain, see how Relief Factor can help.
My back got injured very bad. I was off work for about a year. I heard about Relief Factor from my wife. I took it every day, 3 times a day for 3 weeks. Look at her and I said, the pain is gone. And she said, I'm glad it helped. I said, no, you don't understand. It's gone.
Fight pain naturally with Relief Factor. Go to ReliefFactor.com and get your 3-week quick start today. Only $19.95. Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aid.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Democratic Congressman Danny Davis of Illinois is expected to announce Thursday that he won't run for re-election in 2026. That, according to two people granted anonymity to discuss his plans. We hear more from Capitol Hill correspondent Bernie Bennett, who has details from Washington.
Davis plans a news conference Thursday morning where he is also likely to make an endorsement for what is expected to be a highly competitive race. The 85-year-old 15-term lawmaker represents downtown Chicago, its growing west side, and some western suburbs. He is known as a champion of civil rights, affordable housing, prison reentry, and healthcare issues, and is one of the oldest serving House members. While the deeply blue district has long been considered a black seat, that population has declined due in part to gentrification. The white, Latino, and Asian populations in the district are fast growing. Bernie Bennett reporting.
News and analysis at townhall.com. From Washington, I'm Keith Peters.
On Point Weather is made possible by our friends at Palmetto Citizens Federal Credit Union on 107 The Point.
Here's tonight's forecast. Could have some shower activity up through midnight this evening. The low temperature dripping down to 76. Tomorrow, it's more of what we had today. A bit warmer. There's a 50% chance we get afternoon storms. The high is 94, and it's the same for Friday. Cooler for the weekend. High Saturday and Sunday around 80 degrees. I'm Cal Moss with your On Point local weather.
WQXL Columbia, W264DF.
Grills, outdoor kitchens, fireplaces. Summer sizzle starts with Bart. This is 107 The Point.
This is The Point.
Make thepointradio.com.
Welcome back to Sports Talk on the Sports Talk Media Network. You can reach the guys with the South Carolina Education Lottery lucky number. 888-898-2525. That's 888-898-2525. Now back to Phil and Chris with the second hour of Sports Talk on the Sports Talk Media Network.
We are back, Sports Talk Media Network on this Wednesday night. Good to be with you. Appreciate you being with us wherever you happen to be hanging out, at your home, in your car, by your pool, on the golf course, walking the trail, doing whatever it is you happen to be doing right now. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Phil Kornblut, Chris Bergen, and the plumber who's on word probation. He's on word You're limited to, while you're on probation, you're limited to 10 words a night. And I think you're at 8.
Oh, I'm going to use up a couple.
Well, you've already gone over. That puts you over right there.
What about the? I mean,
you're over the limit.
The
you're on
Seawell's
probation.
menu. The Seawell's menu is more than 10 words.
I can handle the Seawell's menu. Thank you very much. In fact, they prefer.
I could just put you on probation and turn off your microphone. So.
Yeah, but then I'd
take me off.
You'd be out of a job. You'd be out of a job if that were to happen.
I'd just pull the power plug on the board.
Yeah, do that. Why don't you try that? All right, phone number 888-898-2525. We're having some fun with a trivia question tonight about Sterling Sharp, who's going into the NFL Hall of Fame this weekend. The correct answer will win you the official yearbook of the Hall of Fame ceremonies from this weekend. It is a collector's item. It's one of only a few, I would say, right? When you say so.
Those of you who go down and play bingo at the local town hall on Wednesday nights, you don't need to go tonight because we're your bingo card.
Actually, you can buy this for $10.
Or if you go to probably the first game at Williams-Brice this season, they'll probably just have a big table.
You think they'll have them out there?
I mean, they had them out at Birdie's with Beamer, so.
Well, that's because it was the media.
Yeah.
So our question is, and I know it's a toughie because that's what I do. I do tough questions. No easy stuff. No softballs like we threw out last night. Last night was pitiful, Bergie. Pitiful. Do better.
Sorry, I will strive to do better, but I just, for the sake of this, you can Google this answer, and I did right off the bat. So.
Which answer? Not this answer.
Yes, this answer.
Well, you don't know it. See, why'd you say that?
I know.
What
I
is
know
it with
I'm
you
right.
people?
I know I'm right.
So the question is, it's about a stat. It's about a stat. Not saying it's a record. Not saying it's a record. It's a stat about Sterling Sharp's career that is a stat that probably, if it's been matched by very few professional football players. And it says something about Sterling Sharp, the player, and Sterling Sharp and his career. It's not about the Triple Crown. He was not the first. We have a text message about him being the first player in the NFL to win the Triple Crown. That's not correct. That was Jerry Rice in 1990 when I guess they first started counting a Triple Crown in receiving. So that's not the correct answer. And our phone number is 888-898-2525, and our text line number is 803-900-4847. Get back to your calls in a second. We've got some recruiting coming up for you. And we're going to shift gears, do a little basketball. South Carolina made their newcomers available to the media today, 10 of them. And they included Michi Johnson, he's a newcomer. He's a redo newcomer.
He's a returnee.
Yeah. Yeah,
he's grandest sense.
He's back. He's back for his final year. He sounds good. You know, he doesn't shy away from the fact that he had mental health issues last season at Ohio State, and he said he's worked on his mental health, and he feels great. Now he's got a little bit of a back issue going on that's keeping him out of these preseason practices. When does college basketball not have a preseason practice?
They don't. They practice all the time. Matter of fact, I went by while I was down at Coastal for football practice day. I stopped in to see the basketball team. This was the only day this week they weren't practicing, and they've got camp going on. So I mean, basketball player, for all college athletes now, it is a year-round sport. But basketball is ridiculous. About the time the coaches get back from the Final Four, it's time to start getting ready for the upcoming season.
Yeah.
I mean, there is no off season for them.
Richland Post 215's taking a 1-0 lead on Camden Post 17. Early in that game at Founders Park earlier, Florence Post 1 beat Emmons Post 45 3-2. So Florence Post 1 advances to tomorrow, and whoever they play in that championship game, that's going to be high quality, high level baseball here in the summertime. So I would advise baseball fans get out to Founders Park tomorrow to take in that game. Got to get a time on that game, but that should be something tomorrow over at Founders Park as far as baseball goes.
You know, Chris Dorsey told us last night he wasn't throwing his ace tonight. He was going to save him. But I'm if I'm them, do you just wait? They're already in the Southeast Regionals. And if you're Derek Urquhart in Florence, and if Richland wins tonight, you're in. So, I mean, do you save your best guys for the Southeast Regionals in this game tomorrow? Though I still think it will be high-level baseball. It could be even better, but will they throw their frontline guys tomorrow if that's the matchup?
Couple of other text messages. Bobby in Georgetown. Oh, I'm glad you got back with us because I accidentally deleted your other text. And he writes, I hope we quit counting on Faison. That's the Gamecocks. Hope quit counting on Faison coming and find a couple of studs at running back. It has to bother those guys. Nobody is talking about them, and now is the time to step up. Now you're right.
I think he's 100% correct.
I mean, you can't worry about what you don't have. You know, if they're not in the program, whatever. And I still can't believe they don't have a decision from the NCAA. What in the world could they possibly be thinking about and worried about?
I think it's a travesty either way. Just make a decision. You could have easily moved on one way or the other if you knew what was going on. But I agree with Bobby. I think it's a disservice to USC football that Shane Beamer is planning on practicing Rashul Faison starting Friday, even if they don't have a decision. I think that's a mistake. I mean, sadly, you just got to say, Rashul, we've got to move on without you.
What do you think?
We find out otherwise.
Do you think he practices, but he doesn't run with the first or second team?
Well, that's fair. I can't imagine you put him with the first team.
Yeah, I mean, you can't count on that. You got to give somebody else more reps. You got to figure out the other behind Howell and behind the Augustov. Augustave?
Yes.
Augustave?
Gustav.
So Augustave and Howell and Fuller, and those are three of the possibilities. You got to figure out who's going to be your top two, and
definitely.
And you can't count on Faison if he's not approved by the NCAA, no matter how you feel about it. Mm-hmm. All right, back to the phone calls we go. 888-898-2525 is the number. All right, you're off probation for a moment. Who are we going to next?
Going to Boyd and Sumter.
Boyd and Sumter.
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, how are you?
I believe he ran 102 yards on the kickoff against Duke University.
It was 104. 104. Yeah, and that actually was our question from last night. Very weak question from last night.
Was it?
Yes, sir, and that was answered within about 10 seconds.
Hey, it took 6 callers to get it right tonight, though. So
at least
it's grown with age.
Okay, well, I missed it by a couple of yards.
Yeah, but I mean that's not the question tonight, though. We have another question. That doesn't answer the question. That's not our answer tonight.
All right.
All right, sir. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. Good hearing from you. Keep in touch. Phone number 888-898-2525. And let's go next to Wes in Rock Hill. Hello, Wes. Welcome in.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Good, man. How you doing?
Doing good. I'm a Clemson fan, so if I know this, then all these Gamecock fans ought to be embarrassed.
Okay.
All right. So I think he had 108 receptions in 1 year, and at that time, that would have been there was only like 5 or 6 that had 100 receptions at that time, I think. I don't know that might have been the year of the Triple Crown, but he had 108 receptions, and that was the record. But now it's been broken again. But still,
108. Is that right, Bergie? Did you check on that? Did he have 108 receptions in a year? I can check that. That's not the answer. I'm sorry. That's
the Gamecock fans can be happy. Gamecock Larry just gave us a thumbs up.
Actually, this is pretty amazing. I mean, his numbers from the get-go, 55. These are the number of catches he had starting in 1988. It was 55, 90, 67, 69, 108, 112, and 94 in his last season. That's only – I mean, he had 595 catches, 8,134 yards, and let's see how many – and 65 touchdowns. I mean, that's –
yeah, if his career hadn't got cut short, man, he would have broke a bunch of records.
Incredible.
Yes, he would have.
Incredible. Hey, thank you very much. Great hearing from you. Keep in touch. Still looking. This might be one of the greatest trivia questions of all time here on Sports Talk. Which is, that's our goal. It's like getting on the air on Sports Talk, Bergie, like I always say. It's not, some people believe it's a birthright to be able to get on the air, Sports Talk. No. It's a privilege. It's not a right, and we grant you that privilege occasionally. And just like answering our trivia question, it's privilege if you happen to get it right.
It's pretty easy to get that privilege tonight, though.
Well, we're taking a lot of calls. We're taking a lot of calls because people have a lot of wrong answers to our question. Let's try another one. Try another one here, and we're going to go to
Brian in Charleston.
I
was in the middle of typing it.
Brian in Charleston. Hello, welcome in. How are you?
Doing well. How are you guys?
Terrific. Good to have you with us.
Going to go with the first Packer over 100 catches in one season.
First Packer with over 100 catches in one season. Was that him or was that Don Hudson maybe back in the day? You might be right. That would have been 108 catches in 1992. I don't know if he's the first one to do it for the Packers. Oh, that's not correct. But it was a good try. It's a good try. Remember now, we're thinking you got to think bigger. I mean, when you talk about this stat we're talking about, it's actually bigger than the Packers. It's more league-wide. That you would look at this and go, wow, it's pretty amazing. Pretty amazing what he did. All right, thank you very much. We appreciate it. Let's run to the break. We'll get more phone calls lined up. We still don't have a correct answer. We got recruiting coming up. We got a little Michi Johnson coming your way. And What else? Some other news notes?
Mm-hmm.
We got to give our picks for this season. We got to go ahead and go on the record of what we think is going to happen this season. Are you ready to, Bergie, are you ready to put it on the record what you think is going to happen this season?
No.
Well,
July 30th.
You got to do it. That's what tonight's the night, and we'll be back.
75 years, one reputation, too tough to tame. The Lady in Black doesn't care who you are, rookie or vet, playoffs favorite or long shot. 75 years of scraped walls, battle scars, and history made the hard way. This Labor Day weekend, be there to write the next chapter of the Cookout Southern 500. NASCAR Playoffs Weekend at Darlington Raceway, August 30th and 31st. Get your tickets now at darlingtonraceway.com.
We're with Major Billy Downer of the Department of Natural Resources. Major Downer, let's say I'm out in the woods or I'm on the water and I need to reach a DNR agent. How do I do that?
Operation Game Thief, Phil. It's been around 30-plus years. You can call us at our 24-hour hotline any time of day, 1-800-922-5431. To report wildlife violations or to get help if you're in trouble in the woods or on the water, call us at Operation Game Thief, 1-800-922-5431.
There's a lot of things we take for granted in our lives. Your home's AC will run cool. Your drive-through coffee will be hot. And the car will start when it's time to take your kids to school. It's when things don't go as planned that you start thinking about who to call and where to turn. The good thing is, you can prepare for life's most difficult days by calling the Larry Lucas Agency today. Larry is a State Farm agent that has been taking care of people across South Carolina for more than 2 decades. You probably have insurance, but switching is easy, and bundling can save you hundreds or more. Most importantly, the Larry Lucas Agency can help you choose the protection you want at the price you want. All backed by South Carolina's #1 home and auto insurance company. Visit LarryLucasAgency.com today or give Larry a call at 803-799-1998. Like a good neighbor, Larry Lucas State Farm is there.
Listen to me now.
Wednesday night edition, Sports Talk Media Network. Great to have you with us as we continue to take your phone calls. 888-898-2525, South Carolina Education Lottery lucky number. Back to your phone calls in just a moment. Want to mention to you that, the weather's going to break. Weather's going to break here like this weekend. It's going to drop into the 50s during the daytime. High 55 this weekend? No. No, it's going to drop, though. It's going to drop.
Move?
It's going to drop into the 80s this weekend,
80s,
right?
Yeah.
So
it's going to be awesome.
It's going to be great. The beach would be a great place to go this weekend, And so if you're thinking about going to the beach but you're not sure, then you're going to go to the beach. Just go ahead and do it. If you don't have a place to stay, you want to stay at a really fine location, a great condo, or you got a big group, you need a house, call Jimmy Smith at James Smith Real Estate right there. I bet you Jimmy would know the answer to this trivia question. So, Jimmy, don't call, you're ineligible. James Smith Real Estate Company, 843-237-4246 for your perfect beach getaway. Online at Paulie'sVacationRentals.com. Pawleys Island, the Grand Strand, is the place. Jimmy Smith is the man. 843-237-4246 for your perfect beach getaway. Okie doke, let's continue. See if we can give this priceless, this once in a lifetime, this rare edition.
Show it up to the camera.
How many of these do you think were actually printed? I think maybe it's a limited edition. There might be like 50 of them.
Well, it says you can get it for $10 on the price tag. If you look at here, I'll show you the barcode. If you're looking to buy it, just scan that onto Google.
Yeah.
It should tell you there's a little $10 thing. See if I can get the focus. Yeah, right up there. It says $10.
Yeah,
so.
Limited edition. It's a limited edition. Yeah. And if you'd like, I will sign this for you. If you
there
think
we go.
If you think
Who
that
needs Sterling Sharp's autograph?
It may cost more to ship it than it does to actually buy it.
It does. I just sent Andy's out today. The thing costs more to, I'm telling you, and it's just going around the corner.
Doesn't Andy live in Columbia? You could have just driven over to his house.
He lives in Columbia, yeah. I'm afraid he'd take a shot at me or something as an intruder.
Just stick it in his mailbox. Keep going.
That's good. You know what? I should have done that.
He called me, and I was like, okay.
We go to Josh. There's another Josh out there. Let's go to Josh in Simpsonville.
Imposter.
Hello, Josh. Welcome in. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Hey, we're doing fine.
So I was thinking the answer was going to be said earlier when they mentioned the 108 catches. But he actually did. He went back-to-back seasons of 100-plus catches and I think like 1,200 yards.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. But that is not correct. But we thank you nonetheless. Good try. Think bigger, people. Think bigger. That's all I can say. Let's go to Shane in Somerville. Shane, welcome to Sports Talk. How you doing?
Hey, how you doing, Phil?
Hey, we're doing great. Good to have you.
So, you were saying bigger, and the previous caller was kind of hitting on what I was thinking as well with the amount of receptions and yards. But let's go with that and more than 10 TDs in a season. So he had more than 100 catches, more than 1,200 yards, and more than 10 TDs in consecutive seasons.
I mean, that's really good thinking and very impressive, but sorry, it's not the answer. That's a good answer. I mean, you're digging deep. Bergie, what do you think of this question?
I think it's outstanding.
I mean, do you think it's fair? We're being fair, aren't we? We're not misleading the public.
There's a word that we've had pop up a couple of times that I mentioned to you off air, and I'll let you be the judge on this, that may be a touch misleading.
What's that, Sterling?
No.
Sharp?
Statistic.
Well, it is a stat.
Well,
it's a stat. It's a stat.
If we don't, I can't say any more without giving it away.
Yeah, we'll go a little while longer. I've got a hint. I can throw a hint out there. I can throw a clue. I can throw a hint.
The fact, the best part about this is, versus last night when Andy got it off the bat, is the fact we've gotten so much participation. This is awesome.
Yeah, we love our callers when they call in and want to join us. I understand a lot of times people just sit back and listen. I get that. But when you got a chance to give away a priceless yearbook, something you just can't find anywhere.
For the record, Andy is
even
on
though
the
they
line.
put a price on it.
Andy is on the line.
No,
at some point, we're going to have to give him a shot.
No, he's ineligible. I'm not getting.
Can't win
and I'm not going to let him throw an answer. No, take him down. Bye, Andy.
Bye, Andy. Okay, he's getting hung up
You're
on.
Gone. Yeah, hang up. I want to see him drop the line.
Yeah,
Can't do it. Can't do it. All right, let's go to Eddie in Monk's Corner. Hello, Eddie. Welcome to Sports Talk.
Yes, sir. I think Sharp, he was the first receiver to receive 1,000 yards 2 years in a row.
First? He didn't even give me a chance. No, sir, that's not it, but thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. No, he's not the first receiver to get 1,000 yards 2 years. I mean, he might. I mean, that's not the answer. This is.
Yeah, see, that's the problem. There are several things that, and we've pointed this out, that our callers have gotten that are correct statistics from Sterling's career.
Right.
I mean, we could talk from now until the end of the show if we would just wanted to list what he accomplished in both college and in the NFL. I mean, a phenomenal player. Just a phenomenal player. That's the reason he's going into the Hall of Fame.
Was he the first to have back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons?
That I don't know, yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of things. Yeah, you'd have to go through the list of receiving stats that he put together. Lewis in Prosperity, you're up next on Sports Talk. Welcome in.
Okay. How about the fact that he and his brother Shannon are the only first two brothers to be in the NFL Hall of Fame?
Well, that is a damn good answer. I mean, that's accurate. That is accurate.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, not what we're looking for. That's a good answer.
All right. Have a great day, babe.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
You know, all we're missing, Phil, is somebody to call in for the Grand Strand, and we will have hit virtually every corner of the state.
Maybe every station.
Maybe
one caller from every station. Yeah.
I think that's awesome.
Monk's Corner. Yeah.
By the way, did you see where ESPN and Shannon Sharpe they're cutting ties? He's not going back on ESPN. So after his,
I think that was probably inevitable.
Most recent legal situation. Yeah, it's what's amazing is how different these two guys are. Sterling Sharpe could be a media darling if he wanted to. He proved it on the NFL Network. He proved it on the NFL Network. Mm-hmm. He was great on the NFL. Great analysis and insight. But he doesn't like the media. I mean, he doesn't. I don't want to put words in his mouth. I'm not. My perception is that he doesn't really like the media. He doesn't like really doing interviews. He doesn't. I don't think my perception is he really doesn't like doing autographs and public things like that. Yet he does a lot of things. I mean, he does a lot of charity. Don't get me wrong. He does a lot of super nice stuff. What are you laughing at now? I'm about ready to get ready. Give me the body's phone number. I'm about ready to get the body in here full time. I need a change behind the board.
And Phil, too, there's always been sort of this rift, for whatever reason, fairly or unfairly, just from the outside looking in, between Sterling and USC that's evidently been repaired over the years. Does Carolina do a Sterling Sharpe Day at Williams-Brice Stadium for this upcoming season to honor him going into the Pro Football Hall of Fame?
Well, they should. The question is,
I agree.
Would he want that? Would he participate in his own? Mm-hmm. Certainly, you got to recognize him at maybe like at like the Alabama game or something. You got to recognize him for his induction into the Hall of Fame, the first one in your school's history.
Yeah, you can't ignore that.
No. The question is, will he want to come in and be honored?
Mm-hmm.
So interesting. He's an interesting guy. He's a great athlete, very good speaker. I think he'd be terrific behind any microphone that he ever got behind. But he chooses not to participate really much in that. Back in a moment.
On Point Weather is made possible by our friends at Palmetto Citizens Federal Credit Union on 107 The Point.
Here's tonight's forecast. Could have some shower activity up through midnight this evening. The low temperature dripping down to 76. Tomorrow, it's more of what we had today. A bit warmer. There's a 50% chance we get afternoon storms. The high is 94, and it's the same for Friday. Cooler for the weekend. High Saturday and Sunday, around 80 degrees. I'm Cal Moss with your On Point local weather.
The Point is teaming up with our friends at Americans for Prosperity, South Carolina, for one big, beautiful party. Join us at Flight Deck Restaurant in Lexington, Friday, August the 8th, from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. We'll do the afternoon drive live. And how about this? The food is on us. It's AFP and the Point's way of saying, hey, thanks for always supporting important causes, calling your elected officials, caring about local issues. Friday, August the 8th, Flight Deck. Come by and celebrate one big, beautiful party. We'll see you there.
Expected to. With SRN News, I'm Keith Peters in Washington. Investigators have found that a helicopter involved in a deadly crash with a passenger plane over Washington was flying above its height limit. The helicopter's altitude measuring instrument was also inaccurate. These findings were revealed during the first day of National Transportation Safety Board hearings. The crash, which occurred in January, killed 67 people. The Trump administration is pushing for Americans to upload personal health data to new apps run by private tech companies. This initiative aims to make accessing health records and monitoring wellness easier. On Wednesday, President Trump is expected to discuss this at an event with leaders from companies like Google and Amazon. On Wall Street, the Dow down by 171 points. More details at srnnews.com.
When your pipes panic, Franklin Plumbing and Drain Cleaning steps right in, fast and friendly. Josh and his team aren't just fixing leaks, they're restoring your peace of mind. This is when you're at your most vulnerable. You got a problem, you need a solution. They're not coming out to upsell you or talk you into something new this or new that. You'll appreciate their process. They'll tell you what needs to get done. and what it'll cost before they ever even bring in their tools to start the work. They're locally owned, which unfortunately is no longer the norm in the Midlands. Franklin Plumbing and Drain Cleaning will treat every home like their own. They've done work for me, for my brother, countless numbers of Point listeners. Dial 799-2222 or visit franklinplumbing.sc.com and you tell them Kev from The Point sent you. You will experience plumbing that's more than just a fix. It's a solution from people who care about their work and stand by it. When you need them, please don't panic. Just call Franklin Plumbing and Drain Cleaning, 799-2222.
It's painting season in the Midlands, and Southern Palmetto Painting and Renovation sets the tone for inspired living. Watch your home change from ordinary to outstanding with colors that liven every wall and craftsmanship you can trust. Michael and his team are fully licensed, bonded, and insured. They care for every detail inside and out of your home. Let's give your home the style and care it deserves. Call 922-5615. Southern Palmetto Painting and Renovations, where every project reflects pride.
Dave Ramsey here. Do you want your money to work for you rather than you working for your money? Go see my friends at Palmetto Citizens Federal Credit Union. They're not a mega bank and have been serving the Midlands since 1936, offering good old-fashioned customer service and free services. They'll look out for your financial well-being. With 14 locations, check them out today at palmettocitizens.org. Federally insured by the NCUA.
Palmetto State Armory is on a mission of making freedom available to all Americans. And with retail stores across South Carolina and a fully stocked online shop, we're delivering freedom coast to coast. PSA is an American-made and veteran-owned firearms company built for those who believe in the Second Amendment and the strength of self-reliance. From suppressors, firearms, ammo, and accessories to fishing gear and apparel, we're more than a gun company. We're a movement. Visit us in store or online at PalmettoStateArmory.com. Palmetto State Armory, American-made for life.
This is Fran Halloran, the Money Coach. Grow with the Point as we build on 10 incredible years of community local radio. We built an environment where our listeners are our family. Are you a small business with big dreams? Join the tremendous stable of advertising partners at The Point. Connect with Kevin Cohen and brainstorm a tailored strategy to escalate your business growth using the powerful platform of The Point. Call Kev directly at 563-8558. Teaming with The Point, you can make the next year your best year.
All right, welcome back. Sports Talk Media Network. Phone number 888-898-2525 is how you can reach us tonight here on the program. Got a little recruiting coming up. A little Michie Johnson coming up as well. Still trying to get a winner to our trivia question. Let's update American Legion baseball. It is 1-0. Richland Post 215 leading. Camden Post 17. And let's turn that around. It's 2-1. Camden Post 17 is leading Richland Post 215. You know, Camden Post 17 goes by the nickname of the Bulldogs.
Oh,
and
like their high school.
Richland Post 215 goes by the nickname the Bulls. So it's 2-1. Camden Post 17. Also, just got a text message from a comrade from Latta, a Latta comrade, who wanted me to know and wanted me to put out there two things about the home of champions. Once again, proving that Latta is South Carolina's home of champions. Latta Dixie Youth won the state championship and going to the Dixie Youth World Series. Can I get a little round of applause for the Latta High School? Well, it's not high school. The Latta Dixie Youth team, please. A little round of applause.
Yeah. Good for them.
Also, it says here that Latta's Tiny Tot won Miss South Carolina Tiny Tot. I don't know her name. See if there's a name here. Siluch, Cieluch of Latta, crowned We Miss Tiny Tot, South Carolina.
Wow.
I
How
mean,
old do you suppose she is?
I'm looking.
2?
She looks all of about
18 months.
4. No, 4 or
Okay.
5. 4 or 5.
All right.
How about that? We have a teeny tot beauty pageant here in America. Because Latta produced Lavinia Cox, who was Miss South Carolina and, of course, first runner-up in Miss America. Did you know that?
I think you've mentioned that before. I did not know it until you told me.
Boy, she was so hot over me back in the day. So
I'm
hot.
sure.
I mean, she was 4 years older. It was a little weird, but
hey,
whatever.
The heart wants what the heart wants, Corn. And by the way, props to the Dixie Youth programs in our state. It's got to be awfully difficult to continue playing Dixie Youth baseball with the amount of publicity that Little League baseball gets, obviously with the World Series on ESPN television as long as it has been. But I think it's great that we've got 2 opportunities in our state and Dixie Youth is still viable.
Mm-hmm. Very good point. Very good point. All right, let's see if we can give this thing away, and then we got to move on to some other stuff. Back to Scott in Somerville. We're going to allow repeat offenders. Hello, Scott.
This isn't repeat.
No, this is a different Scott? Did you just –
we had Shane, and then this is Scott.
All right. Scott.
Yes.
Hello, Scott. Welcome in. How are you?
Good. How you doing?
Doing great.
Was it he got an offensive touchdown and a defensive touchdown?
He's no Travis Hunter, okay? No, that's not it. That's not it. Thank you. Good shot. Let's go to Bert in Greenville. Hello, Bert. Welcome to Sports Talk.
Hey, I think it's simple. He's first Gamecock to be in the NFL Hall of Fame.
Well, that will be the answer to a good trivia question, but not the one that we're doing tonight. That will be the answer to a trivia question. Thank you. Thank you very much. He is the first Gamecock going into the Hall of Fame.
Do we want to allow repeat, allow people to go a second time?
Why not?
Okay.
As long as it's not somebody named Andy. As long as it's not somebody named Andy.
You just want to take them as they come?
Yeah, who is it? Do you have the name?
No, I don't have the name.
All right, go ahead. We're going to run through these. Caller, you're on the air.
Yeah.
Welcome in. What's your best guess?
This is Bruce from Missouri.
Oh, Bruce.
Yeah, she was in my wedding.
Who?
You know who you just talked about?
Lavinia Cox?
Yes, she was in my wedding.
What?
I got married to a girl in Lawrence, and she went to whatever college it was, girls' school.
She went to Winthrop.
And,
she went to Winthrop.
Yep. And she was invited to come and be in our ceremony, be getting married. And she was in my
in your wedding? Well, who was your
wedding? Yeah.
Who was your wife?
Diane Shell.
So she
went to Clemson. She left Winthrop and went to Clemson.
Okay, and was good friends with Lavinia. Okay.
Yeah, she was it. Yep, that's right.
Well, that's good to know. That's good to know.
Yeah,
it's not the answer to our.
My daughter.
Oh, hang on.
Okay,
go ahead.
Go ahead. My daughter got first runner-up international in a modeling contest. The first time she's ever been in a modeling contest. And worldwide. This is worldwide now.
That's fantastic. Tells me something. Tells me something about well, I'm not going to get into all that kind of stuff. So.
I know you're not.
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much. We got to get back.
Man.
Thank you. The things we learn on Sports Talk, Bergie, you just never know.
We have a hot call from Billy Baker.
No. Billy's not eligible.
No.
Sorry, Billy, because he already knows. No, not eligible. Friends and family.
Not eligible.
Sorry. He's
wow.
Not eligible.
Okay. Well, we'll go to the next person. I guess.
Yeah.
I didn't ask this person's name.
Yep.
I haven't talked to them yet, but it's the only other person.
Billy's already called me off the air. I know he knows the answer, so he's not eligible. Where are we going next?
I didn't ask, but it's the only person. So.
All right, go. Hey, welcome into Sports Talk. You're on the air. Go right ahead. Hello.
Yes, it's during his era, he was second in most receptions, second in touchdowns, and only 2 other players were ahead of him for receiving yards. During the time he played.
No. Nope. All right, one more. We got to go to Michi. So if we don't get to Michi, we'll never get to it. You're on the air. Go right ahead. Good to have you with us.
It was he caught a receiving touchdown and a passing touchdown.
Nope. We got one more caller, though. You want to take the last one?
Who is it?
I don't know.
Is it a setup?
Let's try it.
Go ahead. Hey, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Oh, hung up.
All right.
I think it might have been Billy Baker.
I'm sorry, Billy. Friends and family.
Are we going to tell the answers to the question? I feel like we have to.
Well, we'll do it after we hear from Michi Johnson. We got to get to Michi. Had a chance to talk to Michi along with others today over at USC after they wrapped up practice. They brought in a bunch of the newcomers. He's not necessarily a newcomer, though he is a newcomer for this year's team. And we begin with his comments about coming back to South Carolina and working out with this team and picking things up with a bunch of new guys.
You know, we're just doing everything we can to help build chemistry. Obviously, you see in practice, coaches on us hard. Guys is talking, guys is building each other up. We learning each other games. Coach Perez got a great system, so it's hard not to like guys. You just got to play together and have fun.
What was that recruiting process like? You said you had a lot of SEC schools interested in you, right? What was that process like, and when did you know you wanted to come back to Carolina?
For me, a lot of people talk about NIL and stuff like that, and that's definitely a blessing. To be able to receive that, but for this go around, and even going back to Ohio State, it was more so about having the ball in my hands. Obviously, I think I said before, I know I play off the ball with Talon and stuff like that, and I play off the ball with Mike and Eli and some other guys. But my thing was I wanted to be the point guard. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to be looked at as the point guard, running the team, running the show. And that was important to me, and Coach Perez, obviously, I trust him, and he told me that was going to be my role. So that was one of the biggest things I feel like coming back. It was probably a tough year for you guys last year, going through that season and not winning. But the year before that, we had the success. We were picked last, and I'm sure they'll pick us last this year. And it's motivation. 16 teams, 14 went to the tournament. So I think we definitely going to be one of them teams this year for sure that can do that, So it's just motivation, everybody's new, everybody trying to figure it out. But we're about the right reasons, though, you know what I'm saying? We want to win for Columbia.
What's it like playing with Eli Ellis?
I haven't got to share the court with him, but he definitely do some stuff that's, dang, I didn't expect him to do that. Great player, great energy. He's a dog. I say that's probably the biggest thing I've seen in his game is just his competitiveness. So he's going to be really good.
I'm sorry. When you see him out there just making plays happen on his own, does that remind you of yourself at all?
I was a freshman before, and I had those moments, but I think he definitely have a chance to in this system with Coach Perez, show more probably than what I did my freshman year. So I see things, but he's definitely on a higher pedestal when it comes to social media and stuff like that and all that. But no, he's a competitor, dog. When I if anything I see, I probably see that the most. It's just his competitive nature.
You still have the unlimited green light?
I hope so. I hope so. But, at the end of the day, it's like I said, I'll be a point guard this year. So, it'll definitely be more about my assist-to-turnover ratio, getting my teammates involved. And like Coach Perez said, it's nothing like getting guys open good looks. We got great shooters on this team. And, we got great guys who's going to be cutting to the rim like Kobe Knox and Mike coming in. I just want to be able to have fun this year. It's my last year. High school, I never had a senior year. And this is something that I just want to really enjoy. And I feel like there's no better way to go out with these people here. So,
did you keep an eye on them a little bit last year while you were at Ohio State? And how did you feel about, it was tough for them last year. How did you feel about what they were going through?
So, for a moment of time, when I was dealing with the mental health stuff, it was a period of time where I really wasn't watching basketball. I was kind of just I was with family, focusing on that. And then, once I start watching again, I watched almost every single game. Zachary Davis, Colin, those my guys. So I was always tuned in, texting them after games, trying to tell them do this, do that. But I feel like it was games last year that they should have won. Auburn, Florida, I think Georgia, somebody that came in here or on the road, whatever. But I just seen okay, they need a closer. They need that guy to in crunch time to take over the game. And I feel like me coming back, I'm going to be able to help provide that. I got to be consistent this year. I think that was one of the main things that year when the second team SEC was just not being consistent every game. So just something that I'm thinking about, working on once I get back really going live. So
in your mind, can you successfully make the transition from scorer to distributor?
Yeah, 100%. You know, I look at the game, and I've been watching a lot of games. I think even the last time I was here, a lot of people took my playmaking for granted. For example, if you go watch the Tennessee game, when we beat Tennessee on the road, I think I had 3 points, but I had like 8 assists that game. And it was all in the crunch time. It was getting in the paint. It was finding to line. It was finding play. You go watch Kentucky on the road. It was a 26-7-6 game, you know what I mean? So it's there. It's the consistency, and I feel like that's a lot of people in life, you know, so.
We'll be back to full strength almost? Like how close do you feel like you're being to back?
No, I feel like I'll be back pro soon. We get back in September, and that's August. And I think that first week of September, I can start live play. Right now, we're just building it up. You know, it's going to be a long season. Coaches just want me to really be fresh and make sure that I'm ready to go when it's time that matters. So right now, it's just really getting back to the fundamentals of basketball and seeing it from a different perspective.
What have you seen from Eli and Mike?
Oh, man, great. Mike, honestly, I don't want to say he's the line, but he has a lot of similarities as far as his game and how he plays with pace. But these guys are competitors, though, man. These guys want to win. These guys, this is one of the teams where I've been around where they spend the most time in the gym. Like they really work hard, and that's something good when you see and you look at the team and you like, man, these dudes want it. So I see that a lot.
What about Eli's games? Like, I mean, and he coming in, obviously a lot of people knew him and from his social media and all that. What have you seen from him on the court?
Man, just the dog competitiveness. His approach to the game. I mean, anytime he plays, I'm sure you guys seen it today. Like he's a fierce competitor. He just feels like he's the best player on the court. And I mean, what teammate would you not want to have on your team like that? That just have that confidence. Confidence is one of the best things you can have as a player, and that's something that he's ultimately got. And I see that every time I watch him play.
Can the two of you guys be on the court at the same time? I'm talking about from a size standpoint. I mean, let's face it, if you and Eli are in the backcourt together, that's a pretty small backcourt by SEC standards. Could you guys be taken advantage of by bigger guards?
Remember when we had Eli Sparkman walk on playing against Alabama, and he was coming out there hitting threes? So I feel like anybody on this team can play. I was in the backcourt with him. I was in the backcourt with a lot of other guys that was smaller than him. So I think, you know, like I said, with his competitiveness and his eager to win and all these guys, I think anybody can play on this team. So I'm excited. You know, like I said, I play off the ball. If he wants to come in and run the point, I have no problem going off the ball. I did it with Talon. I'll do it with Mike. So I think it'll be times. Yeah, it'll be some guards we'll go up against that's, you know, ultimately way bigger than us. But it's about heart. It's about competitiveness. It's about, you know, being tough on the ball and stuff like that. So we'll be fine.
There you go, Michi Johnson speaking today over at USC. We have not run through the preseason poll by the media for the ACC, which came out today. Clemson, 167 first-place votes. Miami second with 7. SMU third with 2. Georgia Tech fourth with 2 first-place votes. Then it's Louisville, Duke, Florida State, North Carolina, Pittsburgh, NC State, Virginia Tech, Syracuse, Boston College, Virginia, Cal, Wake, and Stanford. There you go. A lot of that is similar to what I did. I had Clemson, Miami, SMU, Georgia Tech, Louisville. I know they were my top 5, and I think I had
Stanford really bad.
I had Stanford last. Yep. I had Wake Forest next to last. Some people were cheating, looking over my shoulder. Okay, recruiting coming up, and maybe, if I'm in a good mood, maybe we'll give you a clue, a hint for the trivia answer.
This Labor Day weekend, be there to write the next chapter of the Cookout Southern 500.
Clear, set sail.
NASCAR Playoffs weekend at Darlington Raceway, August 30th and 31st. Get your tickets now at darlingtonraceway.com.
Traveling can be the worst, especially when you can't find your favorite show. Well, don't worry. We've got the perfect way to keep up with everything happening in the Palmetto State when you're away from home. Just pull up the Chief Sports app on your mobile device, and you can listen live to Sports Talk.
All right, welcome in, everybody. Sports Talk Media Network.
So the next time you can't find us on one of our great radio affiliates, just log on to the Chief Sports app, the best way to stay connected with the Sports Talk Media Network.
Has your credit seen better days? At Founders Federal Credit Union, we get it. Life happens. That's why we offer personal and auto loans that help you move forward. With flexible terms and a team that sees more than just a number. You don't need perfect credit to start your next chapter. Visit foundersfcu.com or a local office today. Founders, helping you do life on your terms. Membership qualification required. Terms and conditions apply.
They talk just like they say I talk just.
The Sports Talk Recruiting Report is sponsored by Seawell's Catering.
All right, time for recruiting tonight. It is brought to you by Seawell's. Reminder, got a roast beef Friday coming up for the buffet. Seawell's on Friday. And tomorrow, of course, another great buffet menu lined up for you. Great dishes. Just make plans to get over there between 11 and 2 and enjoy. Eat to your heart's content. For the very best in catering, you just give Seawell's a call. Let them work with you and handle your very special event in a very special way. 803-771-7385 is the number. SeawellsCateringSC.com. Online is how you can get more information about the menu. Had a chance to talk with Jaden Bryant, 2027 defensive end from Irmo, 6'4", 255. And he is a guy that has really blown up in recruiting. Emerged last season as a killer pass rusher, totaling 21 sacks among his 92 tackles. So he's become a nightmare for offensive tackles. Long arms, quick off the edge, and he really likes getting after the quarterback. So South Carolina defensive ends coach Sterling Lucas has been all over Bryant from a recruiting standpoint. Early in the process, he's in really good position. He says South Carolina and he are really tight. He says they reach out every once in a while. They check on him, see how he's doing. He might go over there every once in a while for a camp or other things. And they've told him to stay home, to keep the pipeline going between Irmo and USC. He does call the Gamecocks the one that stands out the most at this point. And he does plan to be at the Alabama and Clemson games at South Carolina. But it's way too early for him to focus on just one program. He says he and his family are going to be looking at all their options as things develop. Florida and LSU are two others he's pretty high on right now. Clemson's also involved. He visited there in early April. He says he's still building his relationship with Clemson, but they are showing a lot of interest. He also has offers from Michigan, NC State, Virginia Tech, North Carolina, Florida State, Missouri, SMU, Miami, Georgia Tech, and Michigan State. He's now considered one of the top defensive end prospects in the country for the 27 class. Says he's really worked hard since his freshman year to get to this point. He has a teammate, of course, Nate Carson, who's a major talent at offensive tackle. When those two hook up in practice, they really get after it. And Bryant says, personally, he thinks he gets the better of it. But he says Nate might get him here and there. He did say that the two of them talk about going to the same program, about the pipeline, as he put it a couple of times. They've talked about it. Just going to see where life takes them, he says, and not necessarily a package deal, but could end up at the same place. Infielder Jackson Barini is transferring to the College of Charleston from Gaston College. In basketball, 6'7", Jalen Wingfield named the top 8 of South Carolina, Auburn, Vanderbilt, Cincinnati, Georgia Tech, Florida State, Ole Miss, and Kennesaw State. That's the recruiting report tonight, brought to you by Seawell's. All right, so we'll take a vote here. Should I throw out a quick hint, a quick clue about the answer, or just hold it over till tomorrow night? Bergie?
I would say let's throw out a quick answer or a quick hint, because I don't think anybody's going to get it otherwise.
Okay. All right, you rule. It's Bergie's world. We're just here visiting.
No, sir. You're the one who came up with the cool trivia question.
You rule.
Clearly, much better than mine.
All right, here you go. Phone number 888-898-2525. 888-898-2525. Here's a hint. Think Cal Ripken Jr. Think Cal Ripken Jr. Think, and the plumber's like, who's Cal Ripken Jr.?
I was just gonna say that, actually.
Oh, come on.
I'm not kidding.
That's a shame.
Oh, it's embarrassing.
That's really a shame.
That's embarrassing. Mm-hmm. Don't say that out loud.
I didn't. You said it for me.
Well, I mean, don't even hint that you don't know who Cal Ripken Jr. is.
My other fear is, Phil, there are listeners to our program saying the same thing.
No, I got a feeling most of the listeners to this program know who Cal Ripken Jr.
I hope so.
I know the answer
was.
to the question now.
Well, I mean,
I used my resources.
what do you mean you use your resources?
ChatGPT.
That's you can't find the answer to this question on that.
You confirmed it.
But I mean, no, you'd have to. You'd have the only way Chat GPT. What's that stand for, by the way?
I don't know.
I mean, the only way that you'd have to put in the answer to get the answer. You couldn't say, "Hey, Chat GPT, what's a great trivia question on Sterling Sharp that no one would know the answer to?" What was how did you ask Chat GPT? Well, no, don't say it out loud.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, don't say it out loud. You'll give it away.
I mean,
I tell you what, we're just going to hold it till tomorrow night. Do your research.
If you really wanted this, if that bad, just go buy it.
No, I'll tell you what. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give the answer, and we'll do another question tomorrow night. How about that?
That works. I like that better.
So the answer to the trivia question is this. The question was, what stat about Sterling Sharp's professional career with the Green Bay Packers would be a standout statistic that very few, if any others in the NFL have matched? The answer is he never missed a game in his career.
Wrong button.
He never missed a game in his career until his career was over, until he had to retire because of the neck injury.
That's incredible in the NFL. I mean, it really is.
114.
To think about his durability.
It's 100. He only made one playoff appearance with the Packers. That was 93. He missed the 94 playoffs because of the neck injury, and then he retired. In his last game, he got hurt in his next to last game against the Falcons. In his last game against Tampa Bay, he caught 3 touchdown passes, and then he retired before the playoffs because of the neck injury. 114 games played, 114 games that he was in. They had 114 games in his career. He played in every one of them. Very few NFL players can make that claim. And with that, we bid you a good night.